Hello to all my artsy friends. I went thrift shopping for some home decor items and we'll be working on those pieces with my Coastal Hamptons bedroom makeover in mind. I'm joining a small group of friends, so there will be a playlist that I'll link below in case you want to see more thrift makeover ideas. This was the first time I have gone thrift shopping in my new neighborhood. I moved from Texas to Colorado right before COVID started last year, so I've not had a chance to check out the local thrift shops until now. I found this sister's thrift store and they had some good home decor finds, plus all proceeds from this store support the works and ministries of the Bennett Hill Monastery. So here's the first item I found. My goal going into the store was to find large items as wall art because I have a big, empty, boring room in the basement and I'm going to need a few decor items for the walls. This metal fish was so cute. He was only $9, but I'm not crazy about the colors on him. It's a little too much going on, and I think the indentions and patterns would actually be emphasized more if I made this a solid white with some gray distressing maybe, or maybe the gray is peeking out from the debossed areas. So if I want this to be white and gray, then I think the best method would be to first lay down the white paint and then the gray and then sand it. The white going down first sounds counterintuitive, but if the last step is sanding away that coat of gray and we want those gray areas to show up in the debossed areas, then this should work in theory. So let's give it a try. I'm going to use a very light gray because I'm going for a subtle distressing here. So keeping the two colors less contrasty will help give this a subtle distressed look. I'm going for light and bright in the room, and keeping both paint colors relatively light will help accomplish that brightness on this wall decor. I found that holding the sander gave me less control and it went through to the original fish in a few places. Using the flat piece of sandpaper, I could kind of wrap it around where I was sanding and I had more control of how hard I was pressing. Being in a new home, we've been working to make it our own, and I have quite a few room makeovers coming up. I'll share a full home tour at the end of all the projects. We have kind of a modern craftsman look to our home. Is that a thing, modern craftsman, or did I just make that up? The bedroom makeover I thrifted these pieces for won't be finalized until probably end of summer, but this is a great start for that room. Here is a sneak peek at the look I'm going for in this bedroom. Each of our bedrooms has a slightly different vibe, but neutrals play a big role in all of them, so that's what ties them together. You can see the few spots where I went through to the original metal. I thought about painting over those, but they're so subtle and it just kind of adds another layer of depth, which I am fine with. Here's a reminder of the before, and here is the after. Large picture frames always are expensive. Finding the right combo of the perfect frame with the perfect artwork inside is always a challenge. So I thought a thrift store would be a great place to pick up some good-sized frames. Having a nice mat on the frame usually makes the frame more expensive too. So I was happy to find this set of 2 frames for only $8 each. They have a lot of detail in the actual frame, and then there is a linen mat built right in, which goes perfectly with our coastal look. I'm going to start by doing the same two-tone distress technique that we used on the fish. Let's start by taping off the edges before doing the white paint and then put the gray paint on top. If you're new here, my name is Maria and I love sharing crafts and home DIYs with you. Please consider subscribing if you like home decor inspiration, and you can become part of this uplifting and creative community here on Artsy Cupcake. So here is the side-by-side. You can see how flat the solid gray looks, but once I have done a bit of distressing, it really adds a lot of warmth and depth to the frame. I'm going to keep these next to each other as I work so I can make sure I'm distressing the second frame the same amount as the first. For the artwork in the center, I had kind of a crafting fail. Last week I did a science project and made homemade plaster of Paris in my Pottery Barn dupes video. So I felt all confident with my scientist skills, and here I am attempting to make homemade crystals. I thought the crystals would look kind of like coral from a coral reef, and then I would put them in the center of the frames. But my crystals never grew. I've followed the steps of warming the water to almost boiling, and then adding the Epsom salts, and then putting this little pipe cleaner in a cool, dry place overnight, but nothing happened. Let me know in the comment section below if you've successfully made homemade crystals. I don't know what I did wrong. So instead of that idea, we're going to cut some Dollar Tree poster board to fit perfectly inside that linen mat. Then I taped off lines, and we'll use some watered down blue paint. I want this to look like a really natural watercolor that will remind us of the ocean. While those were drying, I printed this artwork onto regular paper and then spray mounted it to the poster board and trimmed them out with scissors. You can use some paint or a marker to color the edges of the shape. After removing the tape, I took these outside and spray mounted them to the frames. I could still see a bit of the edge, so I decided to add some rope. We are really adding those layers onto this piece to make it interesting and nautical. I added foam mounting tape that I found at Dollar Tree, and I put that on the back of the shapes. I did have to cut a few pieces to fit on the tips, but the tape didn't show at all once it was secured to the backing. I repeated this for the other design. Here's a reminder of what these originally looked like. And here is their transformation. Now I am super eager to get that bedroom makeover done because I know these are going to look great in there. Don't forget to subscribe and check out that playlist for more thrift store makeover inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a creative day. Bye!